So the first step was to assess the concept, and it has to be a quick study. You don't have to really do a very detailed research at this point of time, because we are just assessing our concept at the moment. So we don't have to really go into the deeper details and do a bit of and spend too much time on it. It just a couple of days or maybe just a week is enough for this particular study. So what you want to understand? You want to understand the opportunity and the need that we have. What is that particular opportunity? Can we describe that in a single word, or sorry, in a single sentence, that this is the problem and this is how we are going to solve? So you might have heard of elevator pitch. For many of you who might have been into the funding process, you might have heard that. So there is a concept called elevator pitch, which means that you have to be able to explain that in a single sentence in a maximum of 1 minute time, because that's the time that the elevator opens and close, right? That's the maximum. You can only spend one time, one sentence only. Then you need to also understand, is there any market potential size, and what are the needs that your idea solve, or that your solution um is catering to or is addressing. So you need to be very uh, brief into this. And by for looking at the potential market size, you may want to look at the current research that has been done already. How many people are having this problem, and what are they using? The next step is to understand what kind of product you are going to deliver. Whether it's what is its performance, how much it will cost them, what is the availability, what kind of services it will create. Is there any social influence that your product or services will put on to the buyer? Because sometimes people buy in social influence rather than on based on their need. Sometimes they want service to be done. Sometimes they want immediate availability of the solutions rather than the wait they have to wait for it. Sometimes they want cost effective. Sometimes they want better performance. So which category you are going to dominate? You may dominate more than one. That's definitely possible. So you may need to see what are your products that you think in these needs, how your product is going to help them. Then how is it going to solve the or serve the needs of the customers? How is it going to deliver? What are the target market segment? Which How many people are there to understand really the market size of um, the solution? What are the competitive uniqueness? What is the competition? What are the unique selling points that you have, or value proposition that you are going to give, which is distinct from the existing solutions, which may be your competitor, which may be your alternative? So either way. And then also, how does it help your customers? What are the resources that you need, or what are the partnerships that you need? What is the revenue model that you think you are going to charge? How is it paid at the moment? Are the customers paying for it, or they are just getting it for free, or they are just not solving their problem and they are just ignoring it? If you want to develop a solution, then you have to assess whether the people will be willing to pay. A good thing, if they are using any alternative and they are paying for it, that's best, because means they may be able to pay your solution if it's helpful. But if they are solving their problem at the moment, which is free of cost, then you have to really have a very good and solid reason why somebody else will pay for your services. Or sometimes the payment is not done by the direct consumer who you are going to solve. Sometimes it's paid by somebody else. For example, Facebook. The actual users of Facebook are not paying anything to use it, but the marketers who want to reach those people are paying for it. So this is a different type of revenue. There are different type of business models that you can apply. So you have to be open-minded and use that in the industry. Then what is it going to be a profitable idea? Whether the you have to develop maybe a very brief unit economics to see whether it makes sense or not. What is the cost of acquiring a customer? What is the cost of serving the customer? What is the and what's the revenue you are going to get? So whether it makes sense or not. So if very simple name for this is called business model canvas, which you will be able to see now on your screen. It's a 9 block business model canvas. So you can see there are 9 different blocks. into it. One, it starts with usually the problem that you are going to solve, and then you will be saying, okay, what are my value proposition? How do I acquire my customer? Who are my customers? How do I acquire them? And how do I deliver my products to them? Then this is the value proposition cycle. What are the then the another three blocks are basically saying what are my key activities, what I will do by myself, what are my key partners that I will lease out to somebody else, and what are the key resources that I'm going to use in my business. And then finally, the two blocks is the cost block and the revenue block, which says what is the cost of my business, what is the revenue of my business. Now you will see most of the things that we have discussed that we want to put in our business plan is covered here, pretty much covered here, right? So it's a one page business model canvas. It's not very detailed, it's just a high level to give you a very comprehensive understanding um, of your idea that you may want to see on one page. What is your value proposition? What customers you are solving? How you are charging revenue? How you are delivering the value? What activity you do? What resources you need? What partners you need? And then what is the cost and benefit of it? So once you have developed this, and then it will give you a very fair idea of whether you are able to, whether you will be able to generate the wherever we will be able to convert this opportunity or not, right? So now you will ask me, there are 90% of the startups that fail. Why they fail if they are doing this business model canvas? The problem with this is that there is a step, there is a guideline, but the problem is the person who is preparing it may get carried away, may get emotional, or may not be very may get very subjective when it's prepared. Many entrepreneurs, because of their passion, they think that the product and services they are proposing is the best among the competition, or either they don't look at the competition, or they look down on their competition to say that they are the best, right? Or they overestimate the market size or overestimate the customer's willingness to pay. They may underestimate the cost of doing it. So there are many reasons why the businesses fail, and the business model canvas, even though the tools are there, they are not able to help them. Why? Because the way we prepare is different. So you have to be very careful in preparing this. So this is the basic building block for your business model. If you are not able to pass this particular stage, and your business does not make sense at this stage, don't go further, because there's no business in it, means there's no business plan for it. Once only you have clear the step one, then only you will go for the step two or other things. So there are many other details that are there, which we will not be able to cover in this short webinar.